I'm seeing some of what was in that big brief filed by Jack Smith, this 165-page brief. Now, what was released has been redacted, so some names are covered in positions and things like that. So it's hard to piece together as to who they're necessarily talking about. But there were, from what I've seen, over 70 co-conspirators in this case, which we've seen in Georgia where there's co-conspirators. That could lead to RICO charges down the road. But beyond the 70 co-conspirators, Donald Trump was told all the way back in November that he lost. He was told after the election that he lost. And his plan going into the election was, whether he won it or lost it, was to declare victory. So that's what he did. And then he was going to let it figure out. He wanted to make his people riot if he lost. And he knew what he was doing. One of his aides said they went into the dining room to tell him what was going on with Mike Pence, and that the crowd was chanting, hang Mike Pence. And he goes, so what? So what if this vice president hangs? He didn't care. He was over Mike Pence. Mike Pence wasn't loyal. He didn't care. You know, they're talking about all of the things they try to do, the court cases and all of it. Donald Trump knew he lost and proceeded with January 6th anyway, didn't care if his vice president got hung, was almost happy about it. And he knew around the election that he lost, was told numerous times that he lost, and continued to push this because he couldn't accept it, because his ego wouldn't let him accept the fact that he lost. So as more and more comes out from this brief, and there's going to be an appendix that could be released, which has even more links to grand jury testimony and evidence and things where they pulled quotes and stuff from, that it's going to be even more damning for Donald Trump. And as this gets out, I don't see how people don't turn away from him at this point. After the election, I see a lot of Republicans are going to probably try to find a way to distance themselves after he loses in November, because he's going to try to do some of the same stuff again, and it won't work. But they're going to say, well, this guy lost, and then all of this stuff is coming out. He's clearly going to be going to prison, and they're just going to want to distance himself. Donald Trump, after he loses this election, is not going to probably be able to delay these cases much longer, and he's going to be facing a lot of repercussions from it, because he's finally going to be held accountable. His actions surrounding January 6th and the 2020 election are horrible. And we thought we knew a bunch, and that was bad enough. This is looking even worse, and it's going to continue to get worse for Donald Trump as more comes out, as more is made public. And it is, I just don't even know how to describe what, I'm thinking about, because, I thought it was an open and shut case already. I don't know how Jack Smith doesn't win this. It's going to be a slam dunk, and he's compartmentalized all of this information to show how these were actions of a private citizen who was seeking re-election, not official duties of the president. It is very thorough, and I can see why Donald Trump did not want this made public.